What's up, everybody? We are live here at. Want to let you guys know about some shows we got coming up. First up, we have Destroyer, a tribute to Kiss. They're going to be at the Music Hall on the 1st of February. That's a Friday. We're also going to have the Butlers there. It's going to be also Cruella, which is an all-girl tribute to Motley Crue. It's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a good time. Speaking of cover bands, got another cover band at Slim's the following night, the 2nd, Zepparella, who are awesome. All-female tribute to Led Zeppelin. Also going to have the Gretchen Men Band and Stars Turn Me On. Gretchen Men is also in Zepparella. She's an awesome guitar player, true badass. She was here last night at the Jason Becker tribute show, and she rocked it, according to everybody. Best guitar player there. That's all I heard. And for all you sports fans out there, Super Bowl Sunday at Slim's. We're going to be showing the Super Bowl here, starting at 2 o'clock, so come on down. It'll be free. We'll have food. We'll have drinks. We'll be showing it on the big screen. It's going to be an awesome time. And last but certainly not least, this Saturday, the 26th of January, Stellar Corpses with my friend here, Dusty Sheehan, and some other bands on the bill. We have the Rockets, Memphis Murder Men, and Limnus. It's going to be a badass show. All of you rockabilly fans, psychobilly fans, rock and roll, good old-fashioned shit, come on down, check it out. It's going to be a really good time. These guys are from Santa Cruz, and they are blowing up right now, so come and see them before they're too famous. And now we are here with my friend, Dusty Sheehan from the Stellar Corpses. What's up, Dusty?
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How have you been?
Pretty good, thanks.
So tell me a little bit about the Stellar Corpses. The way we found out about your band is that your fans were blowing us up on Twitter, insisting that we have you guys play here at Slim's. I think they were a little perturbed that you weren't playing on the Tiger Army shows that we had. You were playing on some of the other dates.
Yeah.
And you weren't playing here. So right around that time, all your fans were tweeting us saying, you guys got to get Stellar Corpses to headline. So we listened. Coming up this Saturday, you're going to have your show. So tell me a little bit of background about you guys. How'd you get started? How many years have you been making music?
Well, first of all, the whole thing on Twitter and then you guys asking us to headline a show was just amazing and really, quite an honor. And so we're really excited about it. And that was so cool to see how that happened and how our fans just kind of let you guys know that they wanted to see us. We just have some great fans. And
yeah, that's actually one of the first times that's ever happened where the fans just were requesting the show from us. People always send out suggestions like,
right.
How you guys should have the Rolling Stones at Slim's, or
Right.
something totally unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
But to have someone come out and say, oh, you guys should have this local band that is awesome, it's the first time. So it's the first time we're pretty much booking somebody off of a Twitter relationship. So.
Yeah, and that's so cool. It's kind of a sign of the times too. Social. How people ask us all the time in interviews, like how important social networking and social media is for the band, and this right now, this whole experience proves that it's really important. It's so cool.
So, when did you guys get started as a band? How long have you been doing your thing?
2005, we formed in my living room, and me and my friend Dan both played the upright bass, and but I also kind of played guitar. So I played guitar, and he played bass, and we picked up the rest of the guys along the journey. We've just been playing in Santa Cruz. We had our first show at a place called the 418. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's an all-ages venue that's been around since the 80s under various names, and it's just basically a dance hall kind of thing, just a big wood floor, horrible sound. And but there's limited places to play, and that's where we got our start and our first show, and just we're playing anywhere we could, and we've been playing anywhere we can for almost 7.5 years now.
So did you guys kind of start as just a live band, or was it always planned to like record original music and do your thing? Or
It's kind of, the plan was just to rock. And
it's a good plan.
that was, yeah, that was like when we're writing songs, when we're, that was our main rule, is like, it has to rock. And that was it. We didn't really have any big plans other than just, getting as big as we can, playing in front of as many people as we can. And so we actually didn't record. We played live when we had like 9 songs. So we had about a 20-minute set, maybe.
Yeah.
And we played a lot of shows like that.
That's all it takes, really.
Yeah.
Nice punk rock setup.
Yeah. 2-minute songs.
Yeah. Run through 52-minute songs in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you really need. And those are some of the best shows, actually.
Yeah.
So when did you guys actually sit down and record your first record?
When we had enough to make an EP, we went up to the Compound in Ben Lomond, and it's run and owned by a guy named Joe Clements, who was in a band called Fury 66,
Yeah.
which is a Santa Cruz punk band that we grew up watching and idolizing, and we hit it off with him, and he was so cool, and kind of took us under his wing and helped us make what was supposed to be a demo, and then we just ended up releasing it because it sounded so cool.
Nice. So is everybody in the band a Santa Cruz native?
More or less. I moved there when I was 10 with my family. I was born and raised in northern Idaho.
Wow.
Out in the sticks.
So that's kind of a change.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still like a real like small town boy.
Oh, yeah?
And to me, Santa Cruz was a big city. So, you can imagine what...
college town, it's...
Yeah. No, it's pretty laid back. It's awesome. It's like in between. It's like a mid-sized city, and it's by the beach, and I've fallen in love with it, and I couldn't see myself really living permanently anywhere else.
So have you done a lot of touring outside of the Bay Area?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to actually go to Europe. We went
awesome.
Our friends, the Resurrects from LA, kind of a band that noticed us right away in the MySpace days, and took a liking to us, and we hit it off as friends, and they took us to Europe for a 5-week tour, which was life-changing.
So what's it like going from playing the shittiest club in Santa Cruz with awful sound to all of a sudden you're in Europe, you're touring, and people are starting to talk about you online, and it's not just your friends. Like, how did that happen for you guys? Is it something you pay attention to, or do you just kind of make it about the music and try not to think about that stuff, or do you get floored every time you think about, wow, people are listening to my music in France or something?
All of the above I can relate to. It's
Yeah.
like of course it's about the music, and it's like it has to come from my heart. I have to believe in what we're doing. It has to be fun for me. It has to rock.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
And I also want to do whatever we can to make ourselves known to everyone. As you could see if you saw the promotional video when I was flyering.
Yeah, even the pigeons know about the upcoming show.
Yeah,
and you Stellar Corpses on the 26th.
Blame me for a pigeon infestation on Saturday night.
Oh no, well, we've got plenty of pigeons in San Francisco.
Yeah,
might be a little too greasy to be letting the doors, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But so I do a lot of I do a lot of marketing. Like you do for Slims, and you got to get your name out there because it's show business. There's the show, and then there's the business. And it comes really naturally to me. I feel like some people call me a shameless promoter, but I think there's nothing shameful about promoting what you love.
Right.
So I think the best way is to be shameless.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the hard part actually, is where you're in a band and you want to be successful, you want people to hear your music. It's not necessarily about the money or about selling out or whatever, but nobody's going to care as much as you. So at least in the early days, you got to put yourself out there.
True.
But then you get, the sellout label or saying that, oh, you're a media whore or what. It's it's a fine line, but I think it's really cool that a lot of bands are adopting social media and the online tools that we have to get themselves out there. I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays it's kind of playing out that you don't really need a record label that much anymore to get at least to get that exposure out there.
Mm-hmm.
So why not take it into your own hands? Has that been the main way that you guys have gotten noticed is through online promotion, or was there something that really catapulted you guys?
I think the European tour was big for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot to say about social networking, but there's also a lot to say about hitting the street.
Oh yeah.
Not only just putting up real flyers and handing out real flyers, but going on tour.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started doing that right away.
Okay.
And we've been doing it pretty much consistently since we started.
Yeah.
We've just, the first time we had to rent a van and a U-Haul trailer, no trailer at first, just a van.
Packed
and we
full of
headed out.
Stinky guys.
Yeah. We just headed out, hit the road, and then after that, I think we decided to get a U-Haul trailer so that we'd have more room in the van, so that we could sleep in there, and then we got our own trailer eventually, which has since been destroyed, and so is the van. we put 130,000 miles on our van in the last 3 years.
Jesus.
So that shows you right there how much touring we've done as an totally independent act. We do all our own booking, all our own promoting. Everything is DIY at this point, and we're just starting to get some help and be able to reach out to some people and offer them a percentage type of thing for things like booking and promotion and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Like right now we have our friend helping us book shows. So the next tour is being booked right now, and what a relief, to have some help.
Definitely.
But to go back to what we were talking about with the social networking or what really, I don't know, put us on the map, so to speak. It's a combination of everything. Everything you can possibly do is what you got to do this day and age. And I think like what you said about the record labels, that dream of getting like a huge record label is pretty much dead.
Right.
It's probably not going to happen. But the thing that is going to happen is you're going to get rewarded for your hard work.
For sure. Well, you guys have been touring around the U.S. a lot, I imagine, as well as Europe. Do you have a preference for the type of places you play? Has there been a favorite place on tour, or some place that you went where you thought like, oh God, we're going to blah blah tonight, and then you got there and you're like, wow, these fans are something else, or like a really really niche scene? I'm super interested in like the different, coming from the live music industry, the different demographics out there. San Francisco, for instance, is totally different demographic than the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So, shows that do really well here, stuff that people love here, doesn't do well other places, and vice versa. So has there been a place that really surprised you on tour as far as the enthusiasm and dedication of the audiences?
Man, just about anywhere can surprise me. We've been, I think we're fortunate to have a sound that appeals to a lot of different people, and you might not think it at first.
Okay.
There's the upright bass, and then there's this like dark like horror imagery,
right?
And you don't really know what to expect, and some people like feel like they're not, in that niche or whatever, that clique or whatever. But when we get a chance to open up for a bigger band, say, and play to their crowd, we do well.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to because our music is fun. It's fun and we're entertaining, and that's what we are here to do, is to play music that we love and that's fun and that rocks and entertain a crowd. So that it's kind of cool. And so like some places that some places that used to surprise me but don't anymore are the small towns.
Yeah.
Because we'd go to some just shithole town.
Yeah.
And that everybody hates living there, but they all go to the show. and they all have this pent up energy and aggression, and they get it out in an amazing way.
Yeah.
You know, they love it. They're buying drinks for the band. They're running around screaming and yelling, and it's amazing. You know, so, but now I kind of expect that in small towns.
Totally. Well, have you had the opportunity? You said you're originally, only till 10 years old, but you're originally from Idaho, did you say?
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to go back and play shows there?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was cool. I didn't really know anybody, but
Yeah.
I still have some family up there, and my cousin came to see me when we played in Spokane, Washington, which is
Yeah.
really close to where I grew up.
Uh-huh.
So that was really cool to see him, and we played in this little town. I think it was I can't remember. It was near Pocatello. It was down in the south part of Idaho.
Yeah.
And I think that it was about like a 900 person population, and I think about like 400 of them showed up to the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there was this guy that did the sound and the lights who was a professional festival guy.
Yeah.
And he just happened to live there, and so he would do these shows, and it was just like this huge stage, huge light rig, amazing
Nice.
sound, and then half of the town showed up.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
So you probably had like the local paper boy the next day.
Yeah.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah.
All who were not at the Stellar Corpses
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And one time we played in Reading. It was our first and only time we've ever played there, and the next day we were on the front page of the newspaper.
That's badass. So do you collect this stuff? Like,
Yeah.
You have a little wall of memorabilia or
The vault.
the vault?
Yeah.
What's the coolest thing that you've acquired so far?
Shoot. Well, that's one of them. I think. There's so much. That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that.
Well, why do you think? Can I get you to scoot a little closer to the microphone?
Sure.
Just in case people are having a hard time hearing you. By the way, Dusty's gonna do one or two acoustic songs. Sorry about that. Dropped our connection for a second there. But we are back.
So there's a lot of things that I've collected that people have made for us. That so besides the European tour poster, that's pretty awesome, and some of the shows that we played over there, the posters from those. Besides that, some fans have made us some really amazing things, like masks. Like our logo is like a skull with a star eye.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, it kind of looks like a Paul
the-
Stanley's
yeah.
skull.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And so somebody's made mask for us. Our friend Sean, actually, who is one of the ones that I think helped us get this
Uh-huh.
show, and somebody else has made Christmas ornaments.
Nice.
It might have been her too, actually, Sean. And somebody made the statue of our logo.
A statue
Yeah,
of the logo.
like a full on. I don't even know how he made it, but it was amazing. Really realistic looking with
Wow.
the gore hanging off of the ribs and stuff. And we used it on our merch table for like a good year. And then it got destroyed after a
Oof.
while because, when you're on tour, nothing survives.
Yeah. Not even your sanity.
No, definitely not. That was gone a long
That's
time ago.
dedication, though. Like a actual model or sculpture. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I actually was on Tumblr trying to promote the upcoming show and stuff like that, searching for stuff, and you guys got people going. People are really into your stuff, and you had retweeted somebody's tweet, and that person was like so elated that you retweeted them that they took a picture of it and posted it on their Tumblr, and
Yeah, I saw that.
it's really awesome. It's
Yeah.
like one of the reasons that I started doing this podcast was to really give a platform for local bands who, because like we were talking about, the whole record label thing is not really the same option that it was in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be a new thing that comes and replaces that. So, and newspapers and magazines and stuff like that, they're all kind of circling the drain. So one of my passions is creating a platform for independent artists who want to do their thing and really give them a way to reach their potential fan base, have them learn about them, and then be able to come and see their show. So
Yeah.
I figure we already have these artists coming through to do shows, so why not do a little bit of the, promotion and exposing people to these artists as well, because it all benefits us in the end. The Bay Area music scene is, not huge. It's everyone's kind of knows each other. It's pretty small, so it's when I go online and I see stuff like that happening, or I hear from friends like that people are getting really excited about independent music and music from their own hometown, and rather than just listening to the radio and being sold something.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm trying to capture with the podcast and with the Slims Presents blog. So hearing stuff like that is like, it makes my day. I'm all about that kind of stuff.
It's so cool. It's so cool that the upcoming independent band can be, can be successful. We're given all these tools.
Yeah.
To be able to use.
So you guys, you put out your first demo as an album.
Mm-hmm.
Then you guys have 2 other albums. Is that right?
Right. So when we got back from the European tour, we had already been writing more songs, and we finished up enough to make our first full length, which was called "Welcome to the Nightmare," and people think it's a tribute to Alice Cooper. He had "Welcome to My Nightmare,"
Right.
Which that's fine because Alice Cooper is great, and I don't think that we would have the genre of music that we're playing if it wasn't for him. I just read a great autobiography by him called "The Golf Monster."
Uh-huh.
It was really, really cool.
Because he loves to golf now, right?
He's always loved to golf. Actually, it turns out he's always been into it, and it's something that he has done like every day since he first started.
That's really weird. I mean, I guess
Almost.
it's not that weird, but it's always strange when you kind of hear about someone you associate with, rock and shock and doing crazy stuff, and they're into something as, perceivably mundane as golf.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, though.
It is cool. It's his thing. He loves doing it, and golfing's actually pretty fun. My brother and my dad are really into it, and I go out with them maybe once a year.
Oh yeah.
And I'm actually kind of a natural.
Nice.
So they're always kind of like a little bit shocked, that I can do that as well as I do, which isn't that well. It's not that great, but
well, you got something to fall back on at least. If the rock and roll thing doesn't work,
Yeah.
But I guess golf is probably a lot harder to get into than rock and roll.
I don't think I'll be doing that. But anyways, it works for Alice, and he's shocking him out on the golf course. But but anyways, Welcome to the Nightmare is actually, we named our album that because there was a Santa Cruz psychobilly zine.
Oh yeah.
In the 90s called Welcome to the Nightmare.
Oh.
And it was like the first zine of its kind. Probably in the United States, I would say, definitely in Santa Cruz, and you'll even hear Nick 13 from Tiger Army talk about the Santa Cruz psychobilly guys. When psychobilly was kind of big in Europe, it wasn't really that big yet in the U.S., and there was like a handful of people that knew about it, and a bunch of them were from Santa Cruz. And so when I was like 18, 19, I met those guys and kind of got taken under their wing and showed this like really weird music that's essentially a mix between rockabilly, early 50s rock and roll, and punk rock, and it was amazing because like I grew up listening to oldies, Elvis, Beach Boys, Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, loved those guys, and then I got into like the Misfits and Black Flag, Social Distortion, and I was already dressing like a greaser because I saw The Outsiders, and that really like hit home with me for some reason. I loved that movie and that book. And then when I met these guys, they took it to a whole new level. It was all those elements all put into one thing and taken to the extreme. And it blew me away and sucked me right in and got me really into it. And I learned about a lot of cool bands, Demented Argo, Mad Sin, The Meteors, Necromantics. And so anyways, we named our album Welcome to the Nightmare. We wrote a little instrumental that opens up the album called that. and then just put a bunch of songs together.
So did you guys release that on your own, or did you have a label release that?
We had our own. We made up our own record label, Santa Carla Records, named after the Lost Boys. They renamed. That was shot in Santa Cruz, as you know, and they renamed the town Santa Carla. And we love that movie because
how can
who
you
doesn't?
not?
Yeah, it's the best vampire movie ever. And so we named it Santa Carla Records, and we've gone through various distributors, but ultimately, we're our own record label.
So then, when it came time to do another record, was it the same process? Were you guys coming back from a tour with extra material, or did you sit down to record an album?
Yeah, I mean, we toured on Welcome to the Nightmare for years, and writing at the same time. And that time we went into the same studio, The Compound, with Joe Clements, and he produced it. He actually did some pre-production with us and helped us kind of like with the songs, so we had an outside ear, and we learned how cool that is to have a producer, somebody who, like I said, can give you an outside ear on your art, because sometimes you get like too close to the project and you can't really hear, what do they say? You can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's really nice to have somebody else who you trust come in and give their 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
And you just get an extra opinion. And that was awesome. So he liked to call it trimming the fat. So like we'd have this intro that would go on maybe a little bit too long, and he'd be like, nope, let's cut that in half and get right to it.
Straight to the point.
Stuff like that. So we did that. We put a lot more time than we did into the initial EP.
Yeah. And
released that. And then we toured, just pounding the pavement for 2 more years, and then in that time Tiger Army had taken notice of us and asked us to play some shows, which was really cool. And those were some of the biggest shows that we've played.
And when was this? Was this last year before, or
the last 3-4 years?
Right.
We've kind of been on their radar.
Yeah.
And I've been in contact with them, the manager, booking agent, and it's cool. They actually pick their own opening bands. So I've noticed a pattern where they take like an influence of theirs, like Agent Orange or 45 Grave or something to be their main support, and then they'll take an upcoming band like us, and have us open. It's just, I think that's
those guys are awesome. The shows that they put together, and just how into it the fans are. Although they do get a little bit feisty when the band that they want to see is not on that particular show date that in their city.
Right.
But, it's good to keep them wanting, I guess. Yeah. So I'm going to sidestep a little bit, because I wanted to know, how did you get your start doing music? What was the thing that influenced you to start picking up a bass? And was your family have a musical history? How did you come about?
My first instrument was a guitar. It was an acoustic guitar that was my dad's, and he taught me the basic chords, C, G, E, A,
and was he
D.
in a band, or he just hobbyist?
He was a hobbyist, but he also led worship at our church.
Okay.
So he was like, I grew up going to Christian church, and my dad would be up in the front, with his guitar, singing, and that was amazing. Blew me away. I loved that, like that whole sing along feel, and I kind of idolized him, and he showed me how to play, and
That's kind of interesting. I've done, this is only the second podcast, but I've done a lot of interviews with artists, and that's usually one of the questions I ask. And you'd be surprised how many times I hear, my father was a preacher at the church, and that's what got me into doing music, was seeing. It's pretty common, actually.
Yeah.
It's either that, or my mom and dad played in a dive bar playing piano when I was a kid, and I grew up next to, whiskey and Cokes my whole life or something.
Yeah.
But
either way, it gets you to the same place.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so cool. And I remember that spiritual aspect of music too, when a bunch of people are singing together.
Yeah.
And we go for that. There's not necessarily like a direct correlation there,
Right.
like, well, hey, remember when, let's make it like church
Mhm.
or something like that, but it's like, to me, looking back, there's something similar, there's something that I get from this that was what I got back then for that. And it's when a whole bunch of people are like-minded people are here for the same reason, whether that, to have fun.
Right.
And we all know the same songs. And when people learn our songs and can sing with us, and then you got a room full of people singing together, there's something magical about that.
When was the first time that happened, where you're on stage and you notice that these people are singing your lyrics?
Well, it was pretty quick. I think that we're lucky to have a gift for writing catchy songs, and so people can at least pick up on the chorus right away.
Yeah.
So I do remember, like, the first couple of shows when people like didn't really know the songs, but you can still we do a lot of woes in our chorus, just melodic sounds, and it's easy to pick up on that right away, and even in Europe, people that didn't even speak English could pick up on that and sing with you, and it's amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's cool to have like a good hook that isn't really words, it's just kind of sounds.
So you started with the acoustic guitar. Your dad was led the church gospel choir, whatever they refer to it as. What is it?
I don't know. We were singing "This Is the Day" and "Jesus Loves Me."
Yeah. So,
or maybe that was.
Kids group. So how did that become? I want to write my own music.
So, the guitar I was playing, it wasn't like the best guitar, so it kind of like hurt my fingers to play. But my dad told me stories about how he used to play till his fingers bled and all that,
After he walked a mile in snow to get to work.
Uphill both ways. Yeah. So I heard those, and that kind of inspired me to push on. And so I learned a handful of songs, but it never really caught fire with me until I saw the Buddy Holly story.
Oh.
And I don't know, have you ever seen that?
Yeah, with Gary Busey.
Gary Busey,
right?
plays Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
And that was it. That day I pulled the guitar out of the closet, and I knew that I wanted to be in a band and be a successful musician. What was?
Can you pinpoint what exactly was that struck that feeling in you? Was it seeing the creative process? Was it being inspired by someone else's achievements, or what? Like, if you could isolate it, what was that thing that made you go? Or was it just Buddy Holly is awesome, I want to be like that?
It was a little bit of all of that. Like, I just knew what his music did to me, and seeing, and maybe that was the first like kind of documentary style movie that I had seen about a musician, because then I saw like La Bamba and fell in love with that.
Yeah.
And I used to like pretend I was sick and stay home from school and watch that.
Wow.
It was just, I think it was just the first time I saw the journey of a musician, and I knew that was my journey.
Yeah. What was the first time that you were actually taking something that you had done and presenting it in front of a crowd? Did that happen at a young age or teenage years?
I think I was 16 when I started writing my first songs, and I would just play them to my friends. I had a couple of other friends that were playing music, and they had a band, so I was inspired by them.
We were talking about Garth Brooks. You're a huge fan of Garth Brooks.
Yeah, actually, I can't lie. I actually saw him live once, and that was it was an amazing show. It was probably the best intro I've ever seen live.
Was this when he was like flying over the audience or something?
Yeah, I don't think he did that time, but he did. He walked out on stage, and started singing and playing guitar, and then from the stage, a piano started rising up through the stage, and it was him playing piano. So you realize this guy was an imposter. And he walks off the stage, and then the real Garth Brooks starts playing. But then a hole in the piano opens, and and the real Garth Brooks comes out of the piano,
Oh my
and then
God.
that guy's, you realize he's an imposter, and then he jumps off the piano and just goes right into
This, I mean, it's
whatever.
I don't know if
Friends in low
we're gonna
places.
go down the rabbit hole here, but Garth Brooks is such a weird guy because like I still don't know what's up with like the alter ego that he was doing for a while.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He was kind of emo looking, like he had this black
Right.
shellacked hair
Yeah.
and like a Flavor Saver goatee or something.
Nothing wrong with those.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it was just like very random, like
Yeah.
going from the black cowboy hat and
Right.
belt buckle to the next Jared Leto or something. But
Yeah. Jared
he's
Leto.
actually a really, really great stage performer, Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, that routine, and then there's one where he like is on this crazy rig where he's flying over the audience and stuff like that. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know about any other country people that kind of take the stage production to that level.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to go that direction someday? If you get the budget, are you gonna up the effects budget? Are you gonna have explosions and?
Yeah, if it was up to me, I definitely would. Anything, I love stuff like that. I love pyrotechnics and
Oh, yeah.
and that kind of stuff. I mean, I would do it. I don't know if everybody would want to do that. But
So you would have like the big, like Iron Maiden does with Eddie. They have the big like.
I love Iron Maiden. Yeah, I think that it's all about entertaining the crowd, and if you have the music to back it up, why not go big? Just make it awesome. Be creative and original, and do something amazing.
Well, I think that would be a badass show if you guys had the budget to do something like that, because it is
Yeah.
sort of the whole psychobilly scene does have a large visual component to it,
Mhm.
so it kind of would step it up a notch.
Yeah.
I'd be into that. I'd buy that for $1.
Nice. We definitely get called sellouts, I think.
Oh, for sure.
But whatever.
Whatever.
My 2 cents on the sellout thing is, if you're doing what you want to do, then you're not selling out.
Right.
If somebody's telling you to do something and you're only doing it for fame and money, I think that's selling out.
For sure.
So
I mean, I think especially in like the alternative subcultures, popularity and gaining appeal is sort of seen as selling out,
mhm.
which is really ridiculous.
Yeah.
People, as someone in the music industry, stop thinking like that. You want your favorite band to be able to eat food every night
Yeah.
and not have to work a shit job,
Yeah.
and it'll be better for you in the end. They'll make better music.
Yeah. And I think we're lucky to have a lot of fans that are really supportive of us. We actually have a street team. I should give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Stellar Corpse's street team, SCST. They're amazing. We're a family. We have a group on Facebook where we that's our central hub.
Yeah.
Where we talk daily and nightly, all the
Yeah.
time. And I'm in there a lot, and they're all in there a lot. It's really active and really supportive. And they want to see us succeed.
Yeah.
They don't want to see us starving and, eating top ramen for forever, know?
Just one night out of the week is
Yeah.
fine.
I think everybody appreciates the suffering and the struggle that bands go through
Yeah.
at the beginning. But, do you really want us to do that forever? That's rough.
Seriously. Having to work a day job kills your creativity.
Yeah.
But speaking of street team, I do want to give a shout out to one of our street teamers who is a big fan of you guys, Sonia, my girl,
Yeah.
down in San Jose. She, as soon as she heard about the show, she hit me up to send her as many flyers as I could.
Yeah.
She's a big fan, and she's super psyched about the show. So what's up, Sonia? Hope you're listening.
Sonia, we love you. Thank you so much. She's
So-
been awesome. We traded cell numbers and have been in contact about the
Nice.
the flyering and
Yeah,
stuff.
she's a great girl. She actually does effects makeup. Have you seen her stuff?
No.
Maybe you guys could work together.
All
She
right.
does. Yeah, she does really cool effects makeup.
Cool.
So she could probably make you look like a zombie
Yeah.
for that stage production, if it should ever happen.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to backtrack a little bit because we started talking about your most recent album,
Mhm.
which is Dead Stars Drive-In.
Mhm.
When did that come out? How can people get it?
So that came out last year, and you can get it on iTunes, Amazon. I think whatever your preference is, you can get it there. You can also get it from our website, stellarcorpses.com. We go through a company. This is kind of an interesting thing. Me and a few friends started up a company that sells merch for bands.
Okay.
And I do the website.
Yeah.
And because that's my day job. I'm a computer nerd. And so I do the website. It's called Corpitus,
Okay.
CORPITUS.com. And that has a lot of really cool punk rock bands on there. And there are T-shirts and records and CDs, 7 inches, everything. And it's got all our stuff, too. So.
You know, I kind of noticed that it's a little bit easier when bands help each other out.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know about you, but it's way easier for me to big up one of my friends than it is to big up myself.
Right.
You know, it feels a little bit more natural to say, "Yo, check out my friend's band; they're awesome," than to say, "Check me out, bro. I'm the best."
Yeah.
So when your friends can get together and all help each other out and help spread the word about each other, that's definitely awesome.
That is good. Yeah.
So what's that website again?
Corpitus.com.
Did you say corpitus.com?
I did.
That's right, corpitus.com.
You're good. You're good.
I'm a natural salesman.
Yeah. And by the way, I have no problem saying check me out, bro. So I'll help the other bands and I'll say check me out, bro.
There you go. There you go. Works for everybody.
Yeah.
So you guys have been touring with that album for a little more than a year now?
Yep. Yeah. So we did a video for Vampire Kiss. We were doing all DIY, and then we got on board with some radio promo.
Uh-huh.
And so we've been and video promo. So some friends have been helping us with that. So we kind of like we did Vampire Kiss again, and so we did it as a radio single. It got a little bit of airplay all over the U.S., which is kind of cool. A lot of college stations, a lot of AAA specialty stations and stuff, and a few rock stations, alternative stations. And then and we did another kind of it was around Halloween, so we did another music video, like a Halloween edition.
Right, yeah.
And if you want, check that out on our YouTube channel. It's the Vampire Kiss Halloween edition, and it's essentially a bunch of our friends and fans showed up at this house and had a party. And everybody dressed up, and we just had this like live house party, and it's a really fun video. It was fun to make, too.
Awesome.
So we did that, and then just now we're pushing the Dead Stars Drive-In single. That's going to be our second single from the album. It's the title track. So
you guys, do you have a video for that, or are you doing one?
Yeah, we will be releasing a video for it, and hopefully it'll be getting even more airplay now that some of the programmers and DJs kind of are familiar with us.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to be playing some radio events.
Okay.
Too on the East Coast.
Oh, nice.
So who knows?
So when you guys shoot a video, I know you do DIY stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you edit it yourselves? Do you have friends that hook you up? I know you got your buddy Max here that was helping you film a video right outside.
Oh yeah.
Do you just get your friends involved and stuff like that? Is it spontaneous?
Yeah, well, the thing outside was I wanted to show up early and just like play out on the street. And I just felt like that needed to be done.
Yeah.
That just had to happen. I just wanted to just play, just busk on the sidewalk out in front of Slim's and say, hey, I'm
playing a show here.
I'm playing here on Saturday night.
Nice.
So I thought that had to be done. So we did that.
Yeah.
That happened.
Nice.
And and my
There's
friend
video proof.
And my friend Max filmed it. So yeah, I'll cut that up and post it.
Max is here, by the way. Let's shout out to Max.
Yeah.
What's
Hi,
up,
Max? So yeah, and he's also in the video for the flyering video.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's on the Slim's YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, they did a really funny video. We're gonna probably play it at the end of this podcast of their adventures flying around San Francisco. Yeah. Stuff like that I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of attention from that stuff?
What is there, like 200 views?
Not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, in a day. And everybody who's seen it, like all the comments are hilarious. People are cracking up. They love it. I think people just love to get the inside view, the
Yeah.
inside scoop or whatever, just like a view into like the reality of
Sure.
the world of a band, or anyone, I guess. There's tons of YouTube videos out there that are popular, but I really like it. I like the feedback that we get from it, and I want to do more of it. I want to show people what we're really like, and
So do you
Yeah.
consider all that stuff like a part of the band in a way? Like it's equivalent to recording a record or something? Is that things that eventually you want to have someone else do, or do you feel like it's a part of what you're doing?
right now it is what we're doing,
Mhm.
and it's just a matter of documenting it. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of taking that extra time to document it, and it's fun. I really love every aspect about being in a band. I love the art.
Yeah.
I love the behind the scenes stuff. It can get really overwhelming at times, especially when you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
All the emails and phone calls and all the planning and scheduling. It's really daunting.
Yeah. No, believe me, I experienced that myself here at Slim's, doing all the videos and
Yeah.
editing everything, getting everything posted, scheduling everything. So
Yep.
I definitely know how it can be overwhelming.
Yep.
But I think it's really cool that you guys are taking this approach and really giving people something to latch onto and get to know you guys, because you don't have the benefit of a label out there pushing you on people and spending millions of dollars to get you placed on radio and all that kind of stuff. So anything that you can do to get people paying attention and get them to feel like they know you, even without knowing you, that's the future, guys. You
That
heard
is.
it here first.
Yeah, and I love that. It's so grassroots, and I feel like I don't know. I just feel like the truer and more genuine you are, the more people you reach.
Yeah.
And if you let people see that, what's going on, I don't know. I think people relate to that, and I know I do.
Well, I definitely want to get into some acoustic songs, but first, before we do that, this is something that I like to ask people. It might take you a second to think, but every interview I've done, I've also asked people what the craziest or most entertaining thing that has happened to them on tour is. Pick one story that just had you going, I cannot believe that this is happening to me right now.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not easy. I definitely know it's not easy.
Yeah.
Usually everyone has to think, but they all come up with one.
There's just a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. When you go out on the road, you're like pirates on a pirate ship on the open sea, and when you land, you never know what's going to happen. I mean,
so crazy stuff happens frequently.
I'd say semi-frequently.
It's the rule, not the exception.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you run into I don't want to say crazy fans, because fans are fans, and fans are awesome because they like your music, but there are times that fans have strange requests. They want to party with you, or do something really crazy. Are your fans pretty chill, or have you encountered some that are intense?
There's definitely intense ones and definitely chill ones, and it just depends on what kind of mood we're in. If we're really tired from a long drive and we have another long drive the next day, we usually chill with the chill fans.
Yeah.
But if we're there for a couple of days, we go do something wild and crazy.
Yeah.
We've definitely done that before. Denver comes to mind because we have a lot of really good friends there.
Uh-huh.
And so we usually try to plan a couple of days off, if we can.
Yeah.
And go to like the dance clubs, or just go to a bar or see a show or something with friends.
Yeah.
But as far as something crazy, it's kind of gross. I don't know. There's
gross is fine.
There's a good. There's a gross one, and then there's kind of like a epic journey one.
Well, let's hear them both.
All right.
And then we can decide which is crazy.
Okay. All right. So we'll just get the gross one out of the way. So we were in Mexico City.
Ooh, okay.
And there was this girl I knew she was drunk right away, like early in the night, you know, and she was coming up to me and hitting on me and like, you know, checking to make sure her cleavage is showing and coming up to me and like she's, you know, got her drink in her hand and she's like coming on to me in Spanish and, you know, but using the universal body language.
Come hither.
Yeah. And you know, and I was just kind of politely trying to decline.
Yeah.
And I you know, wasn't into it and a little bit scared. And so anyways, I got rid of her, but then later she ended up following some members from the other band back to the hotel that we were staying at too.
Oh.
And I just went to my room and
Right.
and just went in there and shut the door and went to bed because we were tired. We had a long trip and hadn't slept in like probably 48 hours.
Yeah.
So I went to bed and the rest of the band did too. But when we woke up, there was chaos happening.
Huh.
The hotel manager was yelling and everybody was freaking out. And that girl had apparently soiled herself
Ooh.
in the room of the other band. And this could have been me.
It could have been.
And then they kicked her out and she went into the bathroom, which there was like a communal bathroom in the lobby.
Yeah.
And she went in there and somehow tracked her feces all over the walls. And so there was handprints
Oh my God.
and footprints and it was everywhere, all over the bathroom. And then there was she tracked it all the way out the lobby
Oh my God.
and out the door. And the hotel manager was just irate. he was super pissed.
I can imagine how that might be annoying.
Yeah. So, anyways, there was that. I think I have pretty good intuition when it comes to to girls. At least at least I did in that situation.
Yeah, that was a good move, man.
Yeah. So there's the gross one. And the epic journey one was when we were in Europe and we played in Scotland. And then the next gig was in Finland. So we had to drive across like 3 bodies of water, I think it is. We went under the tunnel from, you know, from Great Britain to, I think Belgium, and then drove in our van from there, to Denmark, I think, and then took a ferry. I can't remember exactly where, at the time I was drinking and like I was drinking nonstop and not sleeping, and I was pretty much in a gray out for most of this time. So
rough and tumble rock and roll lifestyle.
Oh yeah. So anyways, then this ferry that we took from, I think it might have been from Sweden to Finland, was, for us it was just a ferry, it was a means of transportation, but for everybody else it was like a cruise, like a party cruise. So there was a dance floor with a DJ. There was like a live band on the other side. There was bars everywhere, and there was girls everywhere.
Wow!
And so we couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
You know, so
not a bad way to travel, actually.
I don't even think I saw my room. But yeah, we just partied all night, and we got to Finland, and then we had a great show. It was really amazing. The Finnish people were really cool.
Yeah.
We played a festival there with some awesome bands, and then experienced the Finnish sauna.
Oh,
where basically like everybody gets naked. There's no shame in the nude body, and everybody's just gets naked and goes into the sauna. And just drinking in there and everything, and so we did that, and then we got back on the ferry to go back.
Was it still a party?
Still no sleeping, still a party.
God.
And when we finally get back, I don't even remember where we got back to. One of the other band members and me, he wanted to take off to go like use the payphone to call a girl.
Right.
And
always a girl.
Yeah, right. So I followed him. And I'm like, and this is like, I don't even know how long we haven't slept.
Yeah.
And sorry.
No worries.
And so anyways, we're going, and he's asking people for where a payphone is, and they don't speak English.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what country it was. and I think he's even drunker than I am.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go back to the van. We're supposed to meet everybody. I'm gonna go back to the van. You should come back too. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go find a payphone. So he goes off. I go back to the van and finally pass out. And I'm out. And the tour manager couldn't find my friend.
Right.
And unbeknownst to me, because I was totally knocked out, they went on like a 4-hour search for him. The police were called. Everybody was called. They finally found him, and they were trying to wake me up to get information out of me, but I was out.
Wow.
And they couldn't find him, and for all they knew, he was dead.
Yeah.
You know, and so they finally found him passed out by the railroad tracks at a train station, still holding a beer and a cigarette.
Wow.
Which he was known to do, like being passed out, still holding it, and they found him with a train ticket in hand.
Wow.
He had somehow.
Where was he going?
I don't know, but they got him though, and brought him back, and then finally when I woke up, everything was all sorted out. And
Oh my God.
so
That's pretty wild.
yeah,
Wow. Girls on tour, man.
yeah,
Don't let your bandmate call some random chick
yeah.
in Belgium or wherever.
Wherever it was.
Yeah. What is it weird to you to go to like a foreign country where they don't speak any English and the culture is totally different, and see people like with like the rockabilly style or something like that? Because I've talked to like country singers and stuff like that who talk about going to Japan, and they have like a huge country western scene there where like all these Japanese people are wearing hats and belt buckles and stuff, and it's just really kind of strange but also awesome.
Yeah, it's weird. I'd say it's probably more weird for the country thing.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
you know, they in Japan especially, they're nowhere near being genuine with that, but they're totally just taking the fashion of it.
Yeah.
You know, and Europeans, especially, well, Europeans, but more so Japanese, really take genre styles to an extreme, and they do a good job at it. So,
yeah, especially like the northern Europeans, like in Finland, like the metal guys from Finland.
Oh yeah.
You don't fuck with them.
They're the
they
real
got
deal.
the full makeup. They'll commit to it.
Yeah.
It's there's something to be said about that. That's pretty awesome.
It's dedication. They in my experience, it seems like a lot of people that aren't from the U.S., they see what we're doing on TV. They get it from, you know, wherever they're getting it from, TV or the internet, and then they just make it their own. You know, and it might not be authentic the way it is to someone here. Yeah. You know, that maybe grew up in Montana that wears a cowboy hat because they always have. You know, but yeah, they really take it to an extreme, that's for sure. And as far as like the rockabilly and psychobilly, those guys have the most amazing hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
In like
incredible.
Europe and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you know, we played a goth too. I think it goes for pretty much any genre.
Yeah,
we played a gothic festival. We played on like the horror punk stage at the Wave Gothic Treffen in Germany, which is the biggest annual gothic festival in the world. Nice. And we got to play. That's probably the biggest show we've ever played. It was incredible, and people there, their makeup and hair was like unreal. It blew me away.
Aren't the Necromantics? Aren't they from Europe?
Yeah, they're from Denmark,
and they have pretty crazy hair.
Yeah.
They commit to the look for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that is.
They're keeping it real.
Maybe it's the isolation or something like that. But all those cold, snowy places in Northern Europe, they tend to bring out the crazy, spiky hair and awesome fashion.
Yep.
But anyway, I wanna start segueing into you doing some songs for us.
Okay.
Dusty brought his guitar.
Yeah.
He's gonna do. You want to do 2 songs?
Sure.
So he's gonna do "Vampire Kiss" and the newer single, also the title of the album, "Dead Stars Drive-In." So enjoy this, everybody.
So I just wanted to say too about we took this latest album, Dead Stars Drive-In, to a new level, in that we sought out a producer that had produced some of our favorite records, and we were lucky enough to get his attention and to have him agree to work with us, and since then has become a really good friend and helped us make the best record we've ever made, and that's Joe McGrath.
Awesome.
And he's worked with AFI and Tiger Army and a lot of other bands too. So
Shout out to Joe.
What's up, Joe? So yeah, super cool. Here's one. This one is called Vampire Kiss, and it's about the Lost Boys. It's themed after the Lost Boys, filmed in Santa Cruz, and that question of, would you be a vampire if you had the choice?
Would you?
So here we go. As the sky grows dark, a falling star is there to light your way. The devil knows what we are, and I thought I heard him say, we sleep all day, we party all night, never grow old. It's fun to be one of us, but how far will you go? I don't wanna live forever, but I don't wanna die like this. One thing's for sure, there's only one cure for a fading reflection, and I never could resist your vampire kiss. Forever young, forever lost, children of the night, avert your eyes from the cross and scream into the night. We sleep all day, we party all night, never grow old. It's fun to be one of us. How far will you go? I don't wanna live forever, but I don't wanna die like this. One thing's for sure, there's only one cure for a fading reflection, and I never could resist your vampire kiss. We sleep all day, we party all night, never grow old. It's fun to be one of us. You just gotta let go. Do you wanna live forever? Or do you wanna die like this? And now you're left with a fading reflection, and you never could resist my vampire kiss. My vampire kiss. My vampire kiss.
Awesome. That was Vampire Kiss. That was the first single off your album?
First single, yeah. And it's kind of like that, except a lot louder.
A lot louder,
heavier.
a little faster.
Yeah, that's
a little bit more rocking.
Yeah, yeah. This is more. This is more like the how a song starts out.
So, do you write your songs on acoustic guitar, or do you write them as rock songs?
I write them both. I write them on the acoustic guitar, or the piano.
Okay.
With rock in mind.
Okay.
Because like I work it out this way, and then I bring it to the guys and it transforms.
So do you write most of the songs yourself?
I guess most, yeah, but not all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and
the next
we
track
collaborate.
you're gonna
Like this one was
Oh.
me and the bass player Dan. We collaborated on the whole concept of it and the idea of it and the chord progression of it and the
Yeah.
melody of it and everything. So this was like a co-write.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So the next track you're going to do is the title track off of the album, which you can get on iTunes or on their website, which, by the way, how can they get it that gives you guys the most money?
I think get it from corporatus.com.
Corporatus.com.
Yeah.
That's right, corporatus.com.
corpitus.com.
Don't forget about it, guys.
If stellarcorpses.com is easier to remember, that links you to it, so that works too.
So stellarcorpses.com. Support these guys. Give them your money.
Yeah.
They can use it. Come see them on Saturday night, the 26th. Dusty's going to play us out with the title track, Dead Stars Drive-In, and then we'll roll into their video, and that'll be the end of the podcast. So we'll see you guys next time. Dusty, thanks for coming by. We're going to be super excited to have you guys here on Saturday.
Yeah.
So all of you Stellar Corpses fans, come out, show your support, show your love. Let's do this. Let's do it big. All right, let's sell it out, guys. Come on. All right, Dead Stars Drive-In.
All right. The king of rock and roll sits on his throne. He died with his pants down, all alone. And Marilyn Monroe is lying on the floor. I guess she just couldn't take any more. It's not about who you are, it's who you know. So let's go to the hop and go, cat, go. Let's go to the Dead Stars Drive-In. Let's go to the horror show. Let's go to the Dead Stars Drive-In. We'll never let you go. Oh no. Bela Lugosi felt no pain. Dracula's poisoned, the blood in his veins. And Vampira never got what she deserved. Hollywood has turned its back on her. It's not about who you are, it's who you know. So let's go to the hop and go, cat, go. Let's go to the Dead Stars Drive-In. Let's go to the horror show. Let's go to the Dead Stars Drive-In. They'll never let you go. Dead stars still burn. Dead stars still burn. Dead stars still burn. They still burn. Welcome to the Dead Stars Drive-In. You finally made it on the silver screen. Welcome to the Dead Stars Drive-In. We'd love to hear you scream, so scream. Welcome to the Dead Stars Drive-In. Let's go to the horror show. Let's go to the Dead Stars Drive-In. They'll never let you go.
driving. You finally made it on the silver screen. Welcome to the Dead Stars driving. We'd love to hear you scream. So scream! Let's go to the Dead Stars driving. Let's go to the horror show. Let's go to the Dead Stars driving. They'll never let you go, never let you go, never let you, never let you go. Never let you, never let you go. At the Dead Stars driving.